Hey, this is Matt. Once again, what about in the video? There's another paid request, this time for Nate. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, commentaries, reactions, reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for an episode of The Simpsons from season 14 called The Dad Who Knew Too Little. Now, it's a Homer and Lisa episode, and those can be interesting because they're such opposite type of characters, and there's hope of having a bit of a sweetness to it because Lisa looks at Homer as a idiot because he is, but you tell a lot as Homer is trying his best and that he really does love and care for his daughter. So those can be some sweet episodes. The problem is not really of the episode, but of the show, because it lasts so long and it's still going. When you watch the show more consistently, when you're watching it one after the other, like if you have the season box sets, which I guess they don't even make those anymore. It it's like, oh, they're doing this again. Oh, yet again, Homer doesn't appreciate Lisa. Yet again, Homer messed up and Lisa's bad, and or yet again Homer loses a job, or yet again Homer and Marge might go through a divorce, or might be separate. Like, you see these patterns happen over and over again, and when it gets to the third or fourth or fifth time, it just gets a bit old, and you realize there's only so many stories you could tell, and that's kind of why the Simpsons did not need to be on for so long. Is that, well, one, how can I miss you if you don't go away? And number two, there is only so many stories you could tell before it feels like a repeat or regurgitation or redundant or anything in between. Even at this point, I'm like, man, yet again, Homer screws up and Lisa's mad and Lisa's going to forgive him at the end of the episode, and it's all going to be forgiven by next week. And because in a way there's not a lot of continuity. I mean, there is where, like, Ned Flanders' wife passes away and all this stuff, but I just, other bits of continuity, not as much as other shows. Now, as the episode itself, it's fun. It's a fun episode. You have a beginning that's like Cribs, but here it's called Pads with a Z, and it's on Krusty the Clown and where he lives. You did have an appearance with Elliot Gould, which I do like that actor. For what I understand, he appeared because he was flattered that Marge, I think one episode said that Elliot Gould was one of her favorite actors, and he was kind of flattered by that, and his kids are into the show, and he's like, hey, can I do anything on the show? And they got him in this as a neighbor of Krusty, and he beats the shit out of Krusty the Clown. Here's Bob and Carol and Alice. When he's punching Krusty's naming one of his movies they starred in. So the gist of the plot is Lisa's birthday's coming up. She wants this diaries, the Turbo Diary, that you can write in, and if anyone looks at it, it lots and it fries them, electrocutes them. So Homer's going to get the gift, but there's all these free samples, so he eats them all, and he's too busy doing that, and so the diary is long gone. So he doesn't know what to do. He decides, he sees Ned Flanders has this thing where you can make like a movie where you narrate and you put like a picture of your kid on there, and it's like they're in the movie, as cheap as it is. So you get to the birthday, and Bart gives Lisa a laser pointer, which I think has one of the better jokes, because Homer Simpson is dumb, but you realize very quickly almost everybody in this town is really fucking stupid. And that is very much exemplary in this scene where Bart's like, this is what you do with laser pointer, and he points it. I guess Skinner lives near them, but not really. I mean, again, it's this rubber band reality that, okay, at this point now, this laser point to reach Skinner, because I guess Skinner is like in their point, whatever. You're not supposed to think about it. But Skinner looks at it. Oh, there's a red dot on my trousers, and he takes them off. Oh, there's a red dot on my underpants. As soon as he takes it down, Chief Wiggum comes in, but like, Skinner's too stupid to realize what that is, and Chief Wiggum's too stupid because he looks at it and goes, "You need to get that checked." Okay, I know a guy that died from crotch dot. I will admit, I rewinded it. I'm like, did you say crotch rot? No, crotch dot. Oh, yeah, duh, yeah, the dot, yeah. Wherever the red dot goes, you bang. I'm sad no one said that. Wherever the red dot goes, you bang. Different movie. So Homer shows the movie, but in his narration, he knows nothing about Lisa. Doesn't know what she likes, what she's into. So of course, Lisa's heartbroken. So Homer wants Lisa to forgive him. So he hires this private investigator, Dexter Colt, voiced, I believe, by Hank Azaria. And you can tell he's doing a bit of like a Robert Stack from Unsolved Mysteries. Uh, he was in the old The Untouchables. You do a bit of Robert Stack. It's a fun character. There's a guy who seems very sure of himself on how he's going about as a PI. Like, he tries to get info from Skinner and ruffles his papers, and Skinner's like, why did you just put them back together? So then Dexter staples all of them together, and Skinner's like, no. He was trying to play off those old film noir, what a detective would do. Only here, much more innocent as a cartoon. Get some info from Nelson and gives back Nelson's photo with Snow White. You know she's just an actress, right? Some of us want to live in fantasy. You know, that's not the exact line he says, but something similar to that. So it gives a little bit more insight to Nelson the bully. But it's a fun enough character when he gives the bill to Homer for $1,000, and Homer's like, "How is it this much?" Well, silver bullets. Well, there's a bit I thought your daughter was a werewolf. Turned out I was wrong. Before we go on, there's another interesting bit where Homer gives an email address, chunkylover53 at AOL.com. From what I understand, that became a real email, and I guess one of the people behind the show would actually email people, like email them back, and people said messages addressed to Homer. And I guess a little bit the guy, I forget who it was answering these emails, but then there's like thousands and thousands of them, so then he just had sort of the same reply. Then I obviously stopped after a while. But at least they had the smart decision to put that email in before they did the episode, because imagine if that was some random guy who had that email and then they open up and like, what the fuck? There's like 2,000. Where the fuck did this come from? All the shit I want to look to is. So, I mean, obviously they were smart enough to have that email before doing the episode. But that's kind of cool that one of the people behind the show actually emailed back to people who sent them in, at least for a while. I don't know what if that email. If, I wonder what happens if you do that nowadays. Chunkylover53 at AOL.com. I wonder if that results in anything. If anybody does that and you get a response back, let me know. Chunkylover53 at AOL.com. Huh. I didn't even think about that. I wonder what that does now. Maybe it might go to error, failure notice, didn't send. It might be that, but if it doesn't, you get a response back. Let me know. So at the end of the episode, because the guy didn't get paid, Dexter frames Lisa for these animals being stolen. Homer and Lisa are on the run. I do like the dad with the ink grease type of thing where like Homer's like they're doing it to have fake hair to hide from the police. But there's a bit where Lisa gets mad at him and he like draws tears down his face. Probably one of my favorite jokes is they're chased by Dexter Colt and they enter this hall of mirrors because there's this circus nearby. And Homer's like, ha ha ha, you can't shoot all of us. Ah, damn it. Moves away. Like the timing of that was very well done. Like you know it's coming. You can't shoot all of us. It's just a quick, ah, damn it. The quickness and timing made that very funny. And I also enjoyed the line where Lisa, Homer does remember something of Lisa that she has good hearing, which I don't know if that ever comes back into play in any other episode that she has good hearing. So Lisa uses the laser pointer, blinds Dexter, and Homer's line of, how ironic, blind after a lifetime of being able to see. See, stuff like that is why I did enjoy the Homer Simpson character quite a bit, and it did become my favorite character on the show. Just like I mentioned before, people don't realize like how different the first two or so seasons of The Simpsons are. Like Homer Simpson sounds like Walter Matthau. It was much more Bart Simpson fixated. Like it seemed like he was the star. It seemed like he had a lot more Bart episodes than others. Of course, certain characters that popped up and later disappeared or killed off for various reasons. The plot seemed a bit more simple. I wouldn't say real, but a bit more simple. But again, they couldn't make that work for the long run because they ran out and go bigger, go crazier, go goofier, go insane. You know, Homer goes into outer space as an astronaut. They went to every damn country in the world, every continent. I mean, when you're on for over 30, almost 40 years, disappoint, what the hell more can you do? But I did think this was an entertaining episode. Yes, it goes back to the well yet again of again, Homer screws up, Lisa's mad, Homer does something, Lisa forgives him. I forget which episode it was where I thought it was pretty sweet. I think Homer gives Lisa a ride on his shoulders. And I think it's like in a museum at the end. Does thought of Homer as a dumb animal, but then it all forgiven. I think there was one where Lisa says something and Homer feels bad, and I can't remember it. I remember that being a pretty sweet episode. And because I don't know jack squat about The Simpsons in the past 10 years, like honestly, yeah, from like 2000, probably since even before the first movie, well, the only movie, I have not kept up with The Simpsons at all. And you know, as much as I rag on it, for all I know, I could watch that stuff and still enjoy it. I rag on it, but just the bits and pieces I've seen, like, eh. So I can't even sit here and be honest and say, oh, it's a terrible show nowadays. It's just, goddamn, like, take a break. You can't have enough of a good thing. You you can't eat your favorite food every single day. Number one, you'll die unless it's well, even as vegetables and fruit, you need a little bit more to it. Again, let us miss you. But with this, the Desert Colt was a fun character. I don't know if he ever came back again. I don't think he did. I thought Hank Azaria did a good job voicing that character. Yeah, it had enough chuckles in it, went at a fast enough pace. It was an entertaining episode. Like I said, the Homer and Lisa, you get some nice sweet moments out of it. Like I said, even at this point, it still felt a bit redundant. But the Desert Hole PI stuff made it change it up a little bit, at least. So I still had fun with the episode. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later.